everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm Alison from Cornflake Stew, and today I thought I would show you a little tutorial video of how to make this cute little bunny keyring. He's super cute and he's super easy to make. I've also made some other versions. We've got a bear and a frog. I love the frog. He's adorable. How cute is that little face? So today I'm going to show you how to make the bunny, but I will have the full pattern including the frog and the bear as a written pattern in my shops, so my Etsy shop and my website shop, and I also have a Ribbler shop and a Lovecraft shop, so plenty of choice if you only like one of those platforms. So yeah, we'll get on with making little bunny here. So you're going to need a 2.5mm hook, or to be honest you could use any hook that matches your yarn, but just be aware that it will change the size of the finished keyring. You'll need some scissors, a keyring blank and a stitch marker, and as you probably will notice, I always just use a scrap of yarn instead of a proper stitch marker, but it does the job and I'm just used to using it. You will obviously also need your yarn. Today I'm going to use this pink spray ricorumi. I just love ricorumi. It is so lovely to use. It's a DK cotton yarn. So yeah, I've got loads of this, so I thought I'd use some up. So we're just going to use this today, but this is actually what it looks like with the ball band on. This is obviously the beige colour. So yeah, let's get on and start. Oh, also, sorry, I forgot to say, you will also need some stuffing. So we want to start with a magic circle. This isn't a tutorial video for how to crochet, so you should already know the basics. It's just a tutorial for making the bunny keychain. So we want to start with a magic loop, and we want to work 8 single crochet into the loop. Sorry if you can hear slurping in the background, that's my dog licking his paws. Right, so we've got 8 single crochet into the loop, and then you want to place your marker, and then you want to put 2 single crochet in each stitch around. Just to mention as well, this is in US crochet terms, so although I'm English, I learned to crochet in with American terminology, so that's just stuck with me. So we want 2 single crochet in each stitch around. Four, 6, and 15, 16. Oops. So we've doubled our stitches and we've now got 16 single crochet. And now I like to just remove my hook and tighten up this loop. So pull it as tight as possible, and then I like to just make a little knot. You don't really have to do this, but I just feel that it's a little bit more secure if I put a knot there. And then snip off the end. I don't know why these scissors aren't as sharp as they were. Anyway, so now you won't have that little tail dangling around in your way. So now we want to do move your marker, and then you want to put 3 single crochet, so 1, 2, 3, so in the next 3 stitches. 1, 2, 3, and then you want to put an increase in the next stitch. So you want to put 2 single crochet in this one. And you want to continue that pattern all the way around. So 3, 1, 2, 3, and then 2 single crochet in the next stitch. 1, 2, 3, and then 2 single crochet, and then the last one. 1, 2, 3, and then 2 single crochet in the last stitch before your marker. So now you're going to have 20 stitches all the way around. Move your marker again for the next round. And now for this next round, you're just going to add 1 stitch. So it's going to be 4 single crochet and then an increase. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you want your increase in the next stitch. And then again, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you increase. One, 2, 3, 4, increase. And then you increase. So now we should have 24 stitches all the way around. Move your marker up. And now for this next round, we're going to put six increases in. So we want to go back and do 3 single crochet and an increase again, so we can fit the extra increases in. So we're going to do 1, 2, 3, and then an increase. This also helps because, as you can see, I don't know if you can see, where we've been increasing in the 4, because there's been 4 increases, it's made a kind of, it's got little points where the increases are. So doing it like this, the increase is in a different place, so it kind of jogs your increases and you won't get like a weird shape at the end. Obviously if you wanted that shape, that's fine. But doing it this way, you'll kind of jog your increases. So 3 again, 1, 2, 3, increase, 1, 2, 3, increase, 1, 2, just pull some more, 3, increase, 1, 2, 3, increase, and then your last one, 1, 2, 3, increase. So, because we increased 6 times that round, we will have 30 stitches around. So we've got one more increase round to go. Move your marker up. Now we're going to do 4 stitches and then an increase. So 1, 2, 3, 4, increase, and again 1, 2, 3, 4, increase, and so on all the way around. Okay, so we've got 36 stitches now, and that was 4 and an increase all the way around. So now we're basically just going to build up the sides, and we're going to have 36 stitches from row 7 to row 14. So 1 stitch, no more increasing, 1 stitch in each stitch around, and carry on moving your marker up each row until you get to until you've finished row 14. So I'll do 1 round with you all the way around, 1 stitch in each. So it was 1 in each all the way around. And we want to carry on until the end of round 14. So I'll meet you back when you've done that. Okay, so now you should have pretty much your head made. 14, you'll have 14 rows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Also, I forgot to mention at the beginning, I'm not very good at this yet, am I? That you're going to need either some safety eyes, or obviously just some like black embroidery cotton, or just some black yarn for the eyes. So now we're going to place the eyes, and I've used for this little keyring these little 6mm safety eyes. So we need 2 fronts and 2 washers. So to place the eyes, I like to just give it a squish so it's flat, and then I can work out the middle. Actually, I like to use the tail of your yarn and come up over the back, and if I put it right in the middle of the magic ring and down, that gives me more of an idea of where the middle of the head's going to be. And then we can place the eyes. So the eyes want to go between rows 9 and 10. So we find rows 9 and 10. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. So they're going to go between this row here. And we want them to be around about 10 stitches apart. So if we count basically about 5 stitches from your little marker, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then the next one along, which is about there, poke that through. And then we want the other one on the other side. So make sure it's between the same rows, because I've done this a couple of times and I've put them between the wrong row and had wonky eyes. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and round about there. This doesn't have to be perfect. So there we go. Pull it all back out, and that's what it'll look like. So have a little look, make sure they're in the right place before you attach the washers to the back, just because you're never going to get these off really. I'm going to turn it inside out and put the washers on. Actually, really tough to get on these ones. It's a good job I don't have good nails. There we go, so the washers are in. Okay, so now we're going to start decreasing. So I'm going to put our hook back in, and we want to do 4 single crochet and then an invisible decrease. So 1, 2, 3, 4 and then an invisible decrease. So I'll go through the front loops of the next 2 stitches and then finish off the stitch. 1, 2, 3, 4. Continue that all the way around. Decrease. So then the next round you want to move your marker up and you're going to do 3 stitches and then a decrease. As you can see, it's starting to go take shape and close up. So we'll do, I like to go right till 2 and then a decrease, so which is the next round before I start stuffing. So the next one is 2 stitches, 1, 2, and then a decrease. And then repeat that all the way around. And the last decrease. Good, then I like to just pull that up quite a way so that it doesn't come out. And then we can stuff the head. So take your stuff in. And this bit, I always find you need a lot of stuff in. I think that's where maybe some beginner amigurumi makers go a bit wrong, is that they don't put enough stuffing in. I like to just put in a little bit at a time and then shape the head as you go. You know, make sure that the eyes don't go, because they can, the washer on the eye can like stick out a little bit, and you get like you can see the little lines. So make sure that's all like straight and not wonky. And you can see that little ridge there of the washer. So I kind of like maneuver the stuffing around inside so that it's behind the washer to make it go a bit more straight. There we go. And then the same on this one, you can see the little ridge sticking up. I always find the stuffing takes quite a while. I do fiddle on with it a lot before I decide it's right. You want to put quite a lot in, but not so much that it distorts your fabric and gives you gaps. You don't want to see the stuffing through your stitches, but you do want to pack it in there quite tightly. So kind of just put it in with my thumb at this point and then just shape it as you go with your other hand. Quite hard to explain actually, isn't it? And keep checking to make sure the washers aren't out of place. So this bit at the bottom, like where you've started decreasing, that pretty much wants to be flattened out, like so it's not a ball, because you don't want this bit to be stuck out like this. Where you decrease, you want it to be the shape. You want it to take shape. So if you kind of look at it upside down, I like to make sure that the hole is kind of in the middle and the stuffing is kind of equal all the way around, if that makes sense. So I can see this side here needs a bit more stuff in there and here to like straighten it out. I don't know, maybe I'm just a bit faffy when I do the stuffing. Basically just bung it in. A bit more over it. Right. I think that's all right. And then we can always add a tiny bit more just before you finish fully and close. So I think that's looking all right now. So we'll carry on with the decreases. Okay, so the last round was 2 single crochet and a decrease. So this next round is going to be 1 single crochet and a decrease. So if you move your marker, so 1 single crochet in the next stitch, decrease, 1 single crochet, decrease. Right. At this point, I'll probably just add a little bit more stuff in. Make sure it's nice and firm. And then the final round, you want to just put 6 decreases all the way around. So I generally take my marker away actually, so because this bit's a bit fiddly, but I'll leave it in for today just to show you. So we want to do 6 decreases. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll move that out of the way now. 5, 6. Okay, so we can now cut our yarn. Got it about there. Pull your yarn tail through. And then to finish off, I like to just weave through, a bit big this needle, weave through the front loops of the last 6 stitches. So in and out. And then pull tight. I need to press it as I'm pulling, close it up, and then I just put my needle right in, bring it out here, one of these little stitches along, pull that tight, and then we go, all closed up. So then we make a double knot here. Actually, this needle is really big. Let's go under a stitch and make a double knot. Pull that tight, and then hide the tail just inside the head, bring it out somewhere at the top, snip it off, and then give it a little shape, a squeeze, and there the head's done. So the next thing we'll do are the ears. So for the ears, we want to start off with a magic ring again, and we want to put 6 single crochet in the magic ring. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Pull that tight, and then you want to put 2 single crochet in each stitch around. So I generally don't use a marker here, just because I'd rather just count the stitches, but feel free to put the marker in. So we want to do 12, so 1, 2, and then the next one, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Right, now if we pull that tight like we did before, just put a knot in there. Snip that off. Right, now to make the ears, we're just going to do 12 stitches all the way around. So we're just going to carry on until the end of round 11, and put 1 single crochet in each stitch around. So I'll do this first round with you, and feel free to put your marker in here if you want to, but because we're just doing 12 stitches all the way around, I tend to not bother. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So whenever you're crocheting like this, and you're doing like small pieces especially, it tends to curl up over like this. I don't know if you can see that. So it tends to curl this way, and a lot of beginners carry on crocheting this way, which means the work ends up being inside out. So whenever you've done that first round, I always just like flip it the right way around, and always remember that your knot goes on the inside. So if you just carry on up until the end of round 11, doing 12 stitches, 1 stitch in each stitch around, and I'll meet you back there. Okay, so we'll come to the end of round 11 on the ear, and this is what it should look like. If you want to place your marker now, just to keep track of this, we're just going to do 1 round of a decrease, which is going to be one single crochet in the first stitch, and then decrease in the next, and repeat that around. 1, and then a decrease, 1, decrease, 1, and then your last decrease. And take your marker out. Okay, so that just brings the bottom of the ear in a little bit. We're going to flatten this so that where you ended up is at the edge, and then we're just going to single crochet through both sets of stitches to close the ear up. So we're just going to go into the next one, through to the back, so it's like this, and then you're just going to single crochet to close that up. And it doesn't really matter how many stitches you put in here, but it looks like it's about 3, and that's closed up. So you want to repeat this for the other ear, exactly the same. If you want to put the stripe in the ear, I will meet you back in a minute, and I'll show you how to put the stripe in. So to put the stripe in the ear, work the next ear up to the end of round 9, so it should be about this size. Then you want to take your contrasting colour stripe, get that ready, and we're just going to put 1 round of the stripe. So just work the next stitch just so that it's not complete. Take your new colour, hook that on, and pull that through the 2 loops. Just give that a tighten up. Then you want to keep your pink yarn attached, or obviously whatever colour you're using, and work 1 round, work over the tail of the blue, as you go, and do 1 round of blue. Okay, so you've got 1 round of blue. Actually, sorry, you want to leave that last stitch half made, and then you want to take your pink again and pull that through the last 2 loops of the blue. Right, you can now cut the blue. And then you want to do just 1 more round, working over the tail of the blue. I don't know if you can hear, but my partner and my daughter are in the other room watching Vic Reeves and Bob Mortimer, The Big Night Out. They love it. Just watch it over and over. Well, there we go. So you can just hide those blue tails inside the ear. So now you've got a blue stripe. You've got 11 rounds. So the next round will be a decrease round like we did on the first ear. So I'll leave you to do that. and then when we've finished, we'll come back and I'll show you how to sew them on. So you've got your 2 ears and your head, and now we're going to sew the ears to the head. So make sure where your little colour jog is at the back of the ear, that goes to the back. So thread your needle. Obviously you can add these wherever you want to sew them. You might want them to be a bit closer together, a bit further apart. But I thought I'd put them about there because you want room for the keyring to go in the middle of the head. So I think around about there. So you kind of get your positioning right. 1, 2, 3. I think that was about 3 stitches. 1, 2, 3. So I find when you close the ends up of the parts you're sewing together, it's easier to sew on instead of sewing an open piece. So around about there, I think. So 1, 2, start there. Actually, no, 1 stitch back. Go there. Sew that on, and then go under this full stitch there. Pull that through, and then you want to go back into the same stitch you came out of, and then along to the next one, and then under the next stitch. That. Pull it tight every time, and then the next one, so you want to go back into that same one that you came out of again, and then along to the next one, and then under, like that. Actually, now that I've done that, I think that one does look a bit too far back. Let me just double check. Yeah, that is too far back. Let's redo that and put it closer. I do this all the time. So we'll take that out. See, this is what I get for not pinning things in place where I want them to be, instead of just go ahead and sew it on. Let's start that again. So I want to be a bit closer, I think, so about there. And back in. I do wish there was a sewing fairy that did this bit for you. This is the bit of Amigurumi that I like the least, sewing the parts together. I wonder if there's someone who really just loves doing this part, because I haven't found them yet. I think just about everyone I speak to says they don't like the sewing together parts. Right, that's better. So if you pull that tight, and then if you just go back in that same stitch you came out of, but bring your needle out at the back of the head somewhere, so that'll do, about there, and pull that tight, and then just leave that hanging out for now while we sew the next one on. I like to just follow that around so I know which row I started on. It's about there, and then another stitch, and just check that that's in the right place before I carry on again and do it in the wrong one. That'll do. And then we want to go in one and out that one. Right. Okay, so when you finish that, I'm going to go back into the same place again. Bring your tail out where the other tail is at the back. Pull it tight. Then you want to make a double knot. Then you want to hide one of these tails inside the head. And then you can snip that one off. But for the other one, keep this one attached, because you can use this to attach the keyring, the top of the keyring, to the top of the head, I mean. Change my needle for a smaller one, and now I can't thread it. Right, so then you want to take this, put this back in, and like just bring it out in the middle of your magic ring. You want to take your key ring, thread it through, and then I just go in and out a few times from the front to the back, and then through the key ring. Try not to catch that actually. Sorry, I forgot I was on camera for a second. That through. So you just want to do that a good 3, maybe 4 times just to secure it. Then I put that back into that stitch, go right to the bottom of the head, and if you pull it tight, the top of the keyring kind of disappears into the head, like so. And then you want to make a double knot down here. Pull that really tight, and when you're sure it's secure, I mean you can make more knots if you want to, hide that inside the head. And snip it off. So there we go. Now you just have to add the little details, so we'll add the nose and the cheeks. So if you take some scraps of some whichever colour you like. Actually, I didn't even tell you to use these in you at the beginning, did I? So just a little scrap for the nose. Sorry if you can hear them laughing. Oh. Right, so where did I put this one? So on the row below the eyes, so this one, and you want to try and get it in the middle. So let's have a look. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So if we do 1, 2, 3, 4, this is the 5th one, and then we do one either side of that one, about there. Just do a couple of stitches for the nose. And then on the second one, if you go right down to the bottom, and like kind of in the middle where the nose will be, and bring that stitch right back up. Go back under the nose and into the stitch and bring it out where this tail's hanging out. Look, that out the way. Bring it out there. Pull that tight. Then we want to make a double knot with the end and then you want to hide this back in the head, so you want to go back into the same place again.